Well, hello, my beautiful Virgo. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your career and money reading for mid-October right through to mid-November 2024. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings, and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful there's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Virgo, this is your career and money reading. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. So let us begin. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Virgo? What do they need to know regarding their career situation at this moment in time? Can you please guide them regarding their finances? What's happening for them? What is going on with them right now? Well, your first card is really positive. It means you're growing through your skill set. I definitely see here that you worked super hard for what you have right now, but there is more to come. I also see that you're going to be very busy in the next coming weeks. I also see that for a lot of you it's business as usual, but I do feel that there is an energy here of some of you trying to work really hard to either work from home, or if you work from home already, you may make some changes in and around that that's going to be really positive for you. And also, I see a lot of you trying to think about how to make your career a little bit more nomadic, or do something that you do, but at the same time incorporate some sort of travel. I mean, overall, the energy is that a lot of you are very goal-oriented over the next coming weeks. You're very focused, very diligent, and I feel that whatever you are wanting to achieve, I definitely see you're going to be very productive and get a lot of stuff done, okay? I see you're in a cycle of like repetition. So whatever it is that you do, you're actually a pro at what you do. You're really good at what you do. Your first card there is the 3 of Swords. So it's been hard work. It has been a struggle. But I do see here that there is a very important networking energy coming from your reading before I even start. So that doesn't have to mean that you're going to like an industry work do, or you know, a networking event. It can indicate that someone is about to enter your life who is going to be very beneficial to your career and create a strong alliance with you. Okay, so whether you are working for a company, with a company, or you are an entrepreneur, I definitely see there is some sort of connection here that opens up a whole different ball game for your career sector. Now, this can have international links, doesn't have to, but some of you may be trying to migrate your business or go overseas, or some of you, there could be like a new person who joins the company that you work for, and they are someone with international links, and they may give you some advice. Or I mean, it could also be that there's a branch opening up overseas wherever you're working right now, and you're thinking about trialing it to go out there or even be seconded there as well. Now, it's hard to follow your heart and do what it is that you love doing, okay? You may feel that sometimes you're on your own. You may feel like you invest so much hard work and you're at capacity. I do see as well, there is a potential for the next 6 weeks, because I'm hearing a song, okay? And I'm also seeing your cards. I'm hearing a song. It's by ABBA, and I think it's called One of Us, and it's One of Us is Lying. That's all I'm hearing, okay? Now, that can indicate, especially when I'm doing a career or money reading, I feel more than anything, this connects to someone not taking accountability for actions or a mistake over the next coming weeks and months, okay? So you may encounter a person who tries to pull a fast one, who says, no, I asked it to be like this, and it's not like this. They may try to cover up their mistake or cover something up that they've done, and they may try to blame other people. So I would say, especially with that 3 of Swords, this can be a card of misunderstandings, okay? So don't let this person try to make it look like a misunderstanding. Get everything in writing, okay? And that is across the board. If you're doing something personal, you know, if you're purchasing a property, for example, get everything in writing. If you are someone who is being given a new contract, and I would say read all the fine print, but also if it's something as simple as a client asks you to do something, or your boss asks you to do something, or even a supplier, if you're dealing with suppliers, get everything in writing, because there is a potential that they're going to make a mistake, or they're going to change their mind on something. And then when it comes to the crucial point and you try to call them out on it and say, hey, actually you asked for it this way. And they're like, no, you misunderstood me. And they're going to try and push it or bat it back onto you. So just watch out for that, okay? I feel it's really important to get everything in writing for you for the next, well, I would do it always, but I would say it's crucial for the next 6 to 8 weeks for you, okay? Now, you may leave that situation thinking, well, what happened there? Well, I'm sure I didn't make the mistake. And I know, my beautiful Virgo, you did not make the mistake, because the song is coming out, but also the Three of Swords and the Two of Swords. It's like you feel like you're going to be left in the dark on that one. But actually, it will come to light later on, but it'll kind of be too late by then. By then, that person will have like got away with it. So yeah, just going to put that there and move away from that energy. Very strong that it's coming out there. Now, this card is your protagonist energy. This is how you are diligently moving towards your goals. If you think about the beautiful elk there, there is an energy here of, you know, thriving under difficult circumstances. And, you know, whenever you got some sort of horns or antlers in a reading, it means, you know, you work hard. You fight for what you want to achieve and you don't give up. You're someone who is committed to your job or your craft. You're dedicated. Now, I do want to address for some of those beautiful Virgos who've currently come to this reading because either they lost their job, made redundant, or walked away from a very toxic situation, or have been feeling a bit lost, okay? If you're looking for a new role or a new opportunity, I do see a couple being presented to you, and there's one in particular that you can see a future with, okay? I feel this is something where it may be connected to something you love doing. It's something that maybe you've done before or thought about doing before, but it never fully materialized. I see a return to doing something that you love, okay? So if you're currently putting your resume out there, whether you've got a role or not right now, but you're looking for new opportunities, there are several coming up in the next coming weeks, and I feel like you get the pick of the bunch. Nine of Swords, though, tells me that one of them may be like extra work where, you know, you're going to take the work home with you almost. So you'll do whatever hours it is that you do, but it feels like there's extra, or you may actually, you know, have it on your mind when you come home. Now, if you're cool with that, then of course take that role. But if you think, you know what, I want a healthy cutoff point, then I would like really focus on what it is that you truly want, so that you can have quality of life as well as working hard. You need to have the balance there. And if you're an entrepreneur, I would say this is the same message really coming through, because I see that you have a lot on your mind right now. And you never truly shut off, especially when it's your own business. You know, they always say escape the 9 to 5 and be your own boss, but that actually means that you fall straight into the 24/7. So I would say, you know, really have a strong, healthy cutoff point, and, you know, the world can be won another day. So compartmentalize what it is that you need to work on, prioritize, and of course, the next day you can focus on the next bit. Don't try to do it all at once and burn yourself out. With the Nine of Swords, a lot of you are close to mental fatigue. That's what I'm being given there, okay? Now, we do have number 19, which is a very positive energy. It's the sun energy. So that means that if you've been feeling unmotivated or low like energy recently, I feel that there is going to be a boost here. Slow and steady definitely wins this race for you, and I feel this card is an indication that you are flourishing in your skill set. So whether you feel like you're working in an environment right now that doesn't support you, or you feel it's been extra hard recently, because the Three of Swords is telling me there's a struggle, right? And I would say that there may be some extra administrative tasks this month that you may struggle with. It feels like things are building up, like emails, calls. I feel like you're going to be on the go. You're going to be pretty busy. But I also see the pace at which you see success flourishing. You know, they can be two different timelines. You know, while you're whirling around, being really busy, it's like the progress that you see is slow, but it is there. So I want you to be aware that you are flourishing, and I feel like you're in a really good position. And I feel this is a card that indicates that you are someone who is a great team member, but also you work really well on your own. And I feel this energy of protecting what you believe in your career, and, you know, looking at your values, your skill set, and whether the finances are matched with the amount of work that you're doing. Because this is a card that can indicate that you've taken a lot on, or you have a lot on your plate right now. But also it's a really positive card that indicates that, you know, you are flourishing in your career, but also you're making a difference in whatever it is that you do. You're the sort of person that you take something and you turn it into something bigger. You know, you can literally find nothing and turn something into it. So I feel like you are, you know, it almost feels like you started small, you started at the beginning, and now big things are going to start to happen for you. And I feel like you've begun it. You're in the midst of it. And if you think about plants, of course, it says plants growth. I feel this is about new ideas, but it's also about healthy working environments. And that's why we've got the Three of Swords here and the Nine of Swords, which is make sure that you keep your boundaries strong at work, healthy boundaries with that Queen of Swords energy at the end. This is about making sure that there are healthier working practices, and that, you know, you take on as much work as is necessary. However, you know, not to the detriment of your health. Okay. Now, I'm being given lots of things here. So whether you are someone who's an entrepreneur or whether you work in an office, I'm being given this like breeze. It's weird. I feel it's like the aircon. Okay. So it could be that some of you may have been questioning the strength of the aircon recently, and that it's like super cold. So some of you, you may have a discussion about that with somebody, but it feels like it's stalemate. It's almost like one person wants the aircon high and the other person doesn't. So there may have to be some sort of compromise there. Really random, I know, but that's what's just come out. So let's move on from that energy. I feel like you're being really positive about your trajectory. I feel to some degree with the Ace of Cups, you kind of love what you do, okay? I feel it's hard to do what you love doing, of course, but I feel there is an opportunity, something being offered to you that is going to be like a dream job. And a lot of you have just been offered this. Okay, now this could be a promotion. I'll have to pull a card on that because I do see a status card here. So I feel there could be an increase in your status or some sort of appraisal, because Queen of Swords can be a meeting. I'm actually seeing someone in the water right now because I'm scrying at the same time as doing a reading. I'm seeing someone like on a podium and they're going towards like a microphone and they're giving a speech. Okay, I feel energetically, rather than it being like super precise, that some of you may actually take like a presentation or a talk. I'm getting this energy of being center stage. Okay, so I feel this is more about you looking at your goals and taking center stage in your career at this moment. So I feel that's the trajectory that you're focused on, and you're going to be super organized. And I feel whatever your target is, you're going to hit your targets in the next coming weeks and months. But I do see a lot on your to-do list. Don't overextend yourself, because although you're going to feel really proud of yourself, as you move into like the end of November into December, you're going to be completely burnt out. And I just see a lot of mental exhaustion. Okay. Now, this card can also indicate that you are, you know, making sure that you invest in your career in a very serious way. You have a lot of responsibilities on your shoulders, but also this card can indicate you've established yourself as being someone who is the top of your game. If you think about the maturity of this particular animal, there is an energy here that, you know, you've seen some stuff, you've been through some stuff, and you have a wealth of knowledge. And this wealth of knowledge is going to protect your position, but also it's going to increase your wealth, because whenever you get an earth element card like that, it means you're focused on your money. And for some of you, with the Three of Swords there, you may feel that, you know, the amount of work that you do, you may feel it isn't really reflected in the money, although you may be kind of like okay with the money that you're earning. I don't see you being like a diva here, but there's always room for growth. And I feel like you're looking to see if you can grow in the company that you're currently in. So whether you're an entrepreneur or not, I just see you focusing on diversifying or growing in your trajectory for your career. And a lot of you may feel you've hit a glass ceiling or a plateau and you feel it's hard to move to the next stage. But I do see some sort of meeting going on here, or an appraisal if you work for a company, where there is going to be talk about a new title is what I see there. I'm going to have to check the finances, because the Nine of Swords, it really gives you something to think about. And some of you may be a little bit nervous about moving into a new role if the finances is not right, because you don't want to be locked into something. So I see some of you searching elsewhere with that Seven of Cups. Like, are there alternative opportunities there? If you're an entrepreneur, I feel this is definitely about you having an idea that seems a little bit complex and difficult at first, but I feel like you really love it. It really sets your soul on fire. And I feel with that Seven of Cups, there are a couple of avenues that could make this idea work. There is not just one. So be flexible, be open to all alternatives, maybe even try. I feel this is a very explorative time for you. Try it each way and you'll find the easiest way, because there's something here at the end of the energy reading I'm doing, like the 6-week period, where it's like, it's complex, but it doesn't have to be. So I feel like, don't choose the hard route when you can actually choose an easier way, okay? I know for myself, and I can only give advice from my own self in this moment, it's like sometimes I'll do something and I really do it the hard way. And then I may like talk to a friend and say, oh, I was doing this thing and my gosh, it was really distressing. And they're like, well, why didn't you just do it like this? I'm like, oh, yeah. Okay. And it's like, why did I choose to give myself extra work? Why? It comes from like a sense of perfectionism, and sometimes that can slow us down. But also, looking at your energy, you like to be thorough in your everyday working practices. So, for some of you with swords in your chart for the next coming weeks, there may be like alternative, like, I want to say either computer practices like software apps or something that maybe could aid you in whatever it is that you do. Doesn't have to be, but I mean, it could also be something that will, like a tool that can help you do something easier. I see that happening. Now, I'm clarifying that Three of Swords there, and we've got the Nine of Pentacles. It's really hard to be financially independent and self-sufficient, okay? Especially in the current economic climate. We can all see it, we can all feel it. Some of it's hidden in like food items, for example, extra interest in that, which makes the food be a little bit more pricey. So you may feel that some of your resources have not gone as far as typical, and you may be just keeping a close eye on budgets on a personal level. But I do see you being financially very independent and being able to save a lot of money as well. Of course, money's going to come and go. We all have to pay bills and be really practical, and I see you treating yourself as well in the next coming weeks. So I do feel that there's going to be, enough, but I feel like you have some sort of financial goal that you want to reach. For some of you, it could be like a retirement goal, okay, because you have the biome there, which is really connected to the world energy. It can be about you thinking about trying to retire early, for example. Some of you may actually have an important meeting in the next coming weeks with a financial advisor who is either provided for by your company that you work for. So it could be like a 401k or a pension for some meeting, or it could be for some of you, if you're an entrepreneur, it could be a financial structure. You have a meeting with someone who can help you with some sort of structure that will help you be a little bit more efficient when it comes to your finances there. Now, that Nine of Pentacles basically means that you're very disciplined. You are, trying not to have any distractions, and it's hard not to be distracted, especially with a lot going on there. For some of you, and I hate giving this message because I know how much it frustrates me, for some of you, there is some sort of noise distraction that you're going to try and cancel out in the next 6 weeks. A lot of you are focused on, reaching a target, and you will reach that target. But I also feel like you're going to get a lot done. But there's just, like in the middle of this period, some sort of aural distraction. So whether you work for a company and you work with some people and maybe they're extra loud, gossiping by the water cooler, or maybe someone tapping their pen, or maybe there's some sort of construction work going on outside. Same if you're an entrepreneur. I just see some sort of like a little frustration or annoyance regarding sound over the next coming weeks, but it will dissipate. It is not constant and it is not forever, okay? But also this Nine of Pentacles is really about placing foundations down financially. I mean, a Nine of Pentacles, when it comes to your finances, especially since I'm clarifying the Three of Swords there, it does indicate that you have a financial goal that you're moving towards, and steadily you are going to get there, but also it's hard, okay? Nine of Pentacles basically means that you'll be comfortable in your financial dealings, but also I feel like you will have financial freedom, you know, to afford like a vacation. Some of you are trying to purchase property. I feel there's some sort of big savings pot that you're trying to work towards purchasing something. It'll be different for everybody. Some of you may be trying to migrate your business as well and have a little bit more financial freedom. So a lot of you may be thinking of second streams of income at this stage, trying to get extra money in this period. Some of you may take seasonal work as well. But also I feel with that Nine of Pentacles, a lot of you are thinking about being financially nomadic, okay? So it could be that you're just trying to implement something for passive income, for example, so you free up your time. So I see a lot of things going on in your mind right now. You have so many wonderful ideas. Write them down, get a to-do list. I know it's such a cliche that, you know, Virgos, they're really good at their lists. I have a lot of Virgos in my life, some who are really great at lists, others not so much. So it depends on other placements, of course, but I do see you writing a list so you can be really focused on what needs to be done and prioritize. Especially since you have that Queen of Swords. She is super organized. Even though you're an earth element, you're tapping into that air energy at the end of the month. And this is all about, you know, doing spreadsheets, strategizing, thinking of ideas, not thinking about the past, projecting to the future, looking at what your goals are and being on target. Now, this Ace of Cups, it tells me that, you know, to some degree, I feel that you actually love what you do, okay? Even if you feel burnt out right now or you're at capacity and things have been a struggle and you feel like you don't have much support, I really get an energy that deep down you kind of like what you do, and I feel there's something being offered here for you. Next 6 weeks, I feel there's a lot on offer, actually, but I feel like you have to really zoom in on what it is that you really want out of the situation. So some of you could be offered a promotion, but looking at the energy, there's something in and around this promotion that you feel it doesn't have all the ingredients of what you're looking for, because it has a lot attached to it. But the Nine of Swords is telling me something that it's like you're concerned about. So let me just pull a card on that. What's contained in this offer? Ten of Pentacles. There's more money. I mean, Nine of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles. Your whole reading is telling me about generational wealth. So maybe some of you, you know, it's hard to think about a financial future at this moment in time because you feel like you're not there yet. But I feel like you're on the trajectory to being there. Also, Ten of Pentacles, some of you may be thinking about family business, maybe family financial structures, you know, generational wealth. And that can feel like a lot of pressure on your shoulders. Some of you may even be like the main breadwinner, the provider in your family unit, and it feels like a lot of pressure, but you're going to reach the target. You're going to get there. That Ten of Pentacles, it means that you're committed, but it also means that you are actually attracting more wealth. So I feel sometimes, especially when we are offered like a lucrative deal, a financial deal, and the money is a little bit more, you think, what's the catch? You know, normally, you know, the most mundane jobs, for example, they are the ones that are heavily paid. The ones that are more creative or more exciting, they tend to have less money attached to them. So for some of you, you may feel there is a missing ingredient. Two of Swords, yeah, you're not sure about this, and you got the Two of Swords twice. So I feel if you're offered a new contract, or if you've been in a position for a long time and suddenly there's a merge, because I feel there could be a merge here, with a company that you work for. And if you're not sure about the company that they're merging with, their values, or you feel you're offered like a new contract, but you may feel there's a missing ingredient or a missing benefit or bonus in that contract, because anything you sign now, everything that went before is nullified. Okay, so I would get it checked out. Maybe get a second opinion or a second person to look over that contract just so that you don't miss anything. But I would say right now, I mean, for some of you, it may require travel. Maybe that's what you're a little bit concerned about, because I can't see anything here. Always do your due diligence, though. I can't see anything here that would be negative. The Sun card, Eight of Wands, progression, happiness, joy, freedom. Okay, so I mean, there's some good news. If you haven't received this news yet, you're definitely going to, and it's going to change everything. It's going to be very fast-paced. Sun card is like clarity. Maybe you just need to think things over. You don't like to rush into anything. That's really prudent. I would say, you know, do what you feel is right for you. If something feels off, think about it. If it still feels off, trust your gut instinct. The answer is always within you, okay? So, I mean, looking at this, I feel like there are other options coming in. So maybe that's it. Maybe you have a choice, because we have that Seven of Cups there at the end. So it could be that you're offered something where you're at and you kind of like where you're at to some degree. Obviously, there are things in every situation where you think, I could outgrow this, or move on from this, or diversify and do something different, bring a little bit more spontaneity back to your working environment. But I see right now you got options, so you're going to choose the right option for you. And I feel like you're projecting to the future in order to make that decision, because I feel like you have a financial goal or something you're trying to reach, but also a status goal. So you're moving on up in your career. Now we do have Earth, Home, okay? Now you've got two cards that have the Earth there, so that's why I'm getting really strong links to some of you trying to migrate businesses, maybe have some sort of tax structure abroad for some of you. Maybe this is something you're trying to work out or get advice on right now. For others, it could be that you're trying to purchase a holiday home. You know, if you're really in that stage right now, some of you may be thinking about retirement or setting yourself up to purchase something in the future. Maybe that's a goal for you on a personal level. I still see you reaching your goal. You're working really hard. You're going to make it happen, okay? But also with that Earth energy, a lot of you may be feeling very uncertain about the trajectory of the economy and the industry that you work in. And I feel like, you know, you're super aware of it. You know that things are difficult right now, and you're kind of like looking at your options to secure your position in some way. So I do see like second streams of income, or maybe something that's passive income, or something online that you may be thinking about right now that you have more sovereignty over. So I see some of you kind of like brainstorming over the next coming weeks and months. And if you're an entrepreneur already, I feel like you may branch out and do something a little bit different, something that you've been yearning to do for quite some time. It's an idea that you sat on the fence about for a while, but I definitely see you making strides towards making it happen as you close out the year, is what I see there as well. Now, some of you may actually work from home, okay? It may be literally like that. But if you already work from home, I'm getting an energy that some of you may be thinking about, especially if you're an entrepreneur, you may be thinking about shared working environments. So maybe that's where the sound comes from, so just watch out for that. But it could be that you're feeling a little bit isolated or alone, and you want to mingle a little bit more with like-minded individuals. So I see you like shared working spaces. It may be temporary, but I feel some of you may think about that at this time, or even going to some sort of event. Maybe that's what the podium is about, going to some sort of event where you can mingle with people. So it could be that you're learning or upskilling or going to a talk about the industry, or doing something where you are really like involved, because I feel like you're like super involved this coming 6 weeks. I feel right until the end of the year about something that you're projecting for next year, okay? So now, of course, there's a lot of growth and a lot of fruit in your reading. So this means there is a payoff. There is a financial fruition happening for you. I feel like you're attracting more material gain. affluence, a comfortable life that you're working towards, but you put in the effort, you put in the hard work, the blood, sweat, and tears here. And people may not see that level of effort that you're putting in, but they're certainly going to see your success. But you know what it took to get to where you are, and you will know what it took to get to where you're going. I see a lot of success. You're very goal-oriented, and you're going to reach your goal there as well. Now, of course, number 15, I would say be a little bit mindful of obsession and also, perfectionism. Okay, that's just coming out there briefly. But when you get this card, it can indicate that, you're taking the time to ground yourself and your ideas, and that you are an integral part of your industry and your team. Okay, you are someone who is taking accountability of your environment. I feel like you're paying close attention to your environment as well. You'd be the sort of person who would notice any sort of like health and safety issue. You really pay a lot of attention to detail. So I also see that some of you, with the Six of Cups there, you may deal with someone who has unrealistic expectations. And as I said, please get it in writing. But I'm also being given a major energy about some of you kind of like thinking, well, what would it be like if I lived and worked in a different country? There's so much energy in your reading right now about thinking of relocating, or for a lot of you, it could also be that you're trying to get everything together because you're about to take a vacation. Okay, so I am picking up that energy strongly as well. I have to say, if you're training someone to do what you do whilst you're away, you're going to come back very dissatisfied. Okay, I feel like they put in a good effort, but it's not to your standard, and you may have to revisit something and kind of like do it yourself. You may feel a bit frustrated, and it may feel like when you come back from that vacation that you're like, oh, I need another vacation now. However, it really highlights to whoever you work with that your absence is missed, and that you really are an integral member of the team. Even if you're an entrepreneur, you'll notice that, people holding the fort, I feel, they can do what you do, but just not to the standard that you do it, because you care, because you put your whole heart and soul into everything, to the point where sometimes you don't give yourself much room to go out there and have fun, especially if you're an entrepreneur. And when it comes to you working for a company as well, I see some of you, there is like a office romance or some sort of industry flirtation going on. If you're looking for love, of course, this would be soulmate energy that's coming through. If you are a little bit hazy on the details, mixing business with pleasure, I would say with that Queen of Swords, a lot of you are like, no, I see a detachment there, like, no, I feel like you value wherever you're at in your career, and you don't want to mess that up. It doesn't want to get messy there, is what I'm being given. Now, Two of Swords, a lot of you have to make a major decision in the next coming 6 weeks. You're going to have clarity. You know what you want, and you're going for it, and you're going to achieve it. So, I mean, the Two of Swords is in the resistance position on something. So it tells me that at the 4, you're going to kind of like make a decision. I do see a compromise here, but I feel a compromise is on some sort of air conditioning. Weird. Also, there may be a deal on the table, and you may need to think about it, and you may try to negotiate a better deal. They may offer you a compromise, but looking at the cards at the end there, I feel like, you value your skill set, and you're like a little bit dissatisfied with the compromise. So I feel diplomatically, because the Queen of Swords is always diplomatic, finds the choice words to say in a situation like that. I feel like you negotiate the better deal. I feel like you get them to raise the bar a little bit, because you're not settling, and they know what they're set to lose if you don't get the role. Okay, so I do feel that standing your ground, but not in a diva kind of way, right? Sometimes we can be really offended, like, what, you want me to do all this work and you want to pay me just this? Get real. That's not going to happen. But we have to diplomatically say, well, you know what, I really value the offer that you've offered me, but you know what, right now I'm at a stage in my career where I want to move up, both in pay grade, but also in terms of status. And I'm sure you can completely understand that, I am a pro at what I do, and I value my skill set, and I feel it should be rewarded for the effort that I make. I tend to go above and beyond, so therefore there should be some sort of financial recompense. And if you kind of say it like that, they're like, oh, okay. They need to go back and then think about things. So I feel the way you word it, because you have the Queen of Swords, which means you're going to find the right words. You're going to be very eloquent and very articulate, and also very decisive. You know what you want and you're not settling, okay? Now that Two of Swords can also indicate on a practical level, some of you may see some delays in shipping, okay? I'm actually seeing air delays. So if you're traveling, I feel there could be some minor delays when traveling if you're traveling by airplane, but also I feel like shipping, there's just something at a standstill for you. So I would say try and get things in early, especially if you have a deadline. Also with the Two of Swords, I mean, this tends to be protect your mental peace, okay? So I feel a lot of you, there is an energy here of you trying to withdraw briefly in order to focus on something. And with that Six of Cups, this is something being offered by the universe. There's two things coming in, and that's why you have that Seven of Cups. It's like you have to make a decision. And some of you, with the Ace of Cups there and the Queen of Swords, some of you, it may be a head over heart decision. Okay, so it could be that you choose something where you feel it's more in alignment with your business and with your strategy and your goals, rather than something that you truly love to do. Okay, now I feel like you make the decision that's right for you, of course, but there's something here where you think, oh, that would be kind of nice, but it doesn't have the ingredient that you're looking for. And then there's another role that perhaps has more of the ingredients of what you're looking for, but you feel it's a little bit more like taking charge, being like managerial or decisive, or like super on top of organization. So I feel there may be a decision. But because you have the Two of Swords here, there is an energy of duality. So I would say, can you have the best of both worlds? And maybe that's what your decision is about, putting your resume out there to find an alternative to what is being offered right now. Now also that Six of Cups, it means return to a happier working environment, having support. Some of you may outsource some of the work that you do or be thinking about that at this time, especially if you're an entrepreneur, outsourcing tax and accountants to an accountant. Perhaps some of you, it could be that you are overloaded with like emails, so you may actually outsource to an assistant or a PA, for example. These may be things that you're thinking about at this time. It may even be a digital kind of online platform that you are working with in order to help you with your endeavors. Now, of course, I always favor people over digital anything, to be honest. I'm an old soul, that's just me. But you will do, of course, what is right for you. That Six of Cups energy, it really indicates as well something that you've already been working on is going to flourish, okay? This is an energy of something that's been set up in the past or that you're currently involved in. You may have felt a little bit uncertain about how things are going to go, but the next 6 weeks you're going to see movement, progress, and good news around this, and something being offered there. There's two energies of offering. I would say a lot of you may be having a sort of meeting with a boss and being offered some sort of bonus or an incentive, something you're going to love and enjoy. And this may actually set you thinking that you got the bonus. Now you may be thinking about going elsewhere because you feel like you've hit a plateau. Maybe some of you are waiting for that energy. If you're an entrepreneur, it could be that you're like making a better financial decision and you can actually offer yourself like a dividend or something, however you structure your finances. Now your outcome energy, we've got connection. So I would say there is a strong alliance. You're going to meet someone who is going to be integral to your working environment. This could be a boss that's already in your world, and you just have a deeper, meaningful conversation, and you both discuss the struggles of the working practice, and you both get each other, and you work really closely together. Could also be someone you work with in the office, if you work in an office, or a shop, or a construction site, or wherever it is that you work. For some of you, because I saw the image of someone taking center stage, I feel this could be like a performer as well. Could be your manager. For some of you, this is someone that you're about to meet. Okay, so I feel there could be some sort of like work event that's happening, because I'm seeing a lot of like ambiance around you going out. So if this is like a team building event or a work event, or if you're an entrepreneur, like a networking opportunity, I see you meeting someone or having a conversation with someone that you haven't really built a rapport with just yet. And this person becomes a strong alliance, and they help open a lot of doors to you as well. But also I feel you're the sort of person who can open doors to other people. I see some of you thinking about mentorship. Okay, either you are a mentor already, or you're thinking about a mentorship, or it could be, because I feel like you're sharing information, you may be sharing some information with a family member, for example, or maybe a family member's daughter or son, for example. So I see a lot of that around you as well. Some of you may even be thinking about becoming a mentor or writing some sort of course of learning about what you do, because you have a lot of knowledge there to share. Now, this could also bring in extra money as well. Now we have, of course, number 44, the biome, and this is about all those compartments coming together. As you can see, Seven of Cups is like all the little bits that you do, which are big bits, really, but it's like everything that we do has its place. You know, thinking about, emails separate to phone calls, separate to, administrative tasks, responsibilities, contracts. Everything is separate, but it all comes together to create the whole. So I feel like, you're going to be very goal-oriented and everything is going to come together. I see any deadlines being met here as well, but also this is success. Okay, this is a card of completion, completing projects, just being in the flow of the everyday and being really proud of yourself that you reached that goal. But also I see a lot of you taking a vacation or having some sort of trip booked that you're working towards. Maybe this is something that you're saving for and you will book it in the next 6 weeks. But ultimately, I feel this is about everything coming together as it should and you feeling super proud of yourself as well. Also, I feel like you are going to have your needs met. I mean, if you had this deck at home and you looked up the meaning of this, I think it says that you will have your needs met. The environment that you find yourself in will meet your needs. So I feel like, you are part of a whole and everything is connected. And I feel like some of you may even think about working more closely with your community or with a team. So you may think about collaborations, perhaps, or maybe it's something that you can give back to the community in some way on a personal level. When it comes to your finances, there's a lot of cards here where you're feeling a little bit uncertain about the trajectory that you're on, but I do see you being super organized, having a budget, and you are going to be on target when it comes to those financially independent goals. A lot of you may also be focused on repayments, because that Six of Cups, it's like an energy of like giving a bit of extra money to a repayment plan, whatever that's for, whether it's for a car, a house, or, like mortgage, or maybe it's something that you purchased that was on hire purchase or finance in some way. Now that Seven of Cups, it can indicate that a lot of you are looking at your options for next year, because I see you projecting what is happening for next year for you. You're like so ahead of the curve. So with that Queen of Swords, she's always looking to the future. New ideas, new plans, new strategies. So I feel like you're setting yourself up almost to launch something next year or launch something that's really important for you. But that Seven of Cups, it's basically a card of, the world is your oyster, because this is about fantasizing what it is that you want. This is about bringing your visions to life, and you can have it all. Whenever you get a Seven of Cups, sometimes it can connect to too many options, makes us feel a little bit clouded or a little bit, overwhelmed, especially with that Nine of Swords there. I also would say you've got so much on your mind that it is disrupting your sleeping patterns, okay? So just watch out for that. Best to have a really healthy cutoff point and kind of like to try and declutter your mind before bed, because I'm getting an energy like just before bed, which is always the Nine of Swords or the Four of Swords, right? And you've got the Seven of Cups, like just before bed, suddenly you have all these thoughts like, oh, I've got to do that tomorrow, and I didn't do that thing, so I've got to do that next week. Okay, and that thing that got said like 2 years ago to my friend, I mean, what did they say? What do they mean by that when they responded with that? And it's like, oh, and I've got to buy the dinner for, there's just so many like, whoa, these thoughts like jumping all over the place. So I feel like having a better like nighttime practice for you, if it's possible, I definitely would say implement that, especially in the next 6 weeks, because I feel you have a lot on your plate right now. And I'm going to pull a card on this Nine of Swords for you, because the Nine of Swords can also indicate that, you are someone who's super talented at what you do, but sometimes you're a little bit hard on yourself. You berate yourself, or you may feel like you're not as far as you should be, okay? And some of you are feeling a little bit like you're drifting, okay? So I feel like you're taking charge. So if you've been feeling a little bit like out of sorts recently, for whatever reason, some of you may have like stuff going on in your private life, because we've got the Home card there and the Two of Swords. It can be that, some of you have been trying to launch yourself into work because something's going on behind the scenes and you just want to like take it off your mind, but it keeps coming to the forefront of your mind. I would say, that, you are going to address it, have that conversation in order to dispel it in some way so it doesn't affect you so much. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide me on this Nine of Swords? Yeah, some of you are definitely thinking about walking away from something. Yeah, I mean, I did mention it earlier in the reading. Some of you, it's like a bonus or something is offered to you and you're like, it's not that fulfilling, or it's not what you're hoping for, and you're contemplating a move. I would see you like taking a bonus and then leaving. For a lot of you, not all of you, of course, even though you love what you do, it feels like either the environment or maybe it's just there's no room for maneuver, okay? Because that Four of Cups is like you're feeling a bit antsy, you're feeling a bit unfulfilled. There's a missing ingredient. All of these cups are full in this card, and it's like you've got a certain level in your career, but there's something missing. And that figure, their arms are crossed, so they're feeling a little bit fed up, a little bit bored of maybe the usual thing, and then the universe comes along to offer something new, and you're not expecting this, so it is a nice surprise that's happening for you. Eight of Cups means you walk away from something that is not fulfilling. You're in search of something else. And we've got the Fool card, which is taking a leap of faith. So some of you are definitely lining yourself up for a new opportunity. And if you are currently out of work, I definitely see that, you may have searched for the right opportunity and it hasn't come along. Some people may have even said to you that you're overqualified. That just means that they love what you do. They can see you have the experience and the talent to go with it, to back it up, but they don't have it in the budget because they're being stingy on the budget. So it can be that, you get to negotiate a better deal or hold true to your values, and the right opportunity who will value you and your skill set is coming along, okay? I see something being offered to you. All the cards are pointing that direction for you, and I feel there's a lot of potential in this new role, but I feel whatever it is, there's just this missing ingredient. However, with the Queen of Swords, you take charge of it and you actually negotiate that better deal. Now, these two cards as well, I would say that this is about you taking command of your thoughts, so that they don't overwhelm you. And I feel that you are going to be in charge of that inner critic, because we all have one, especially in moments where we're going to exact some radical change in our career sector. It can feel a little bit like nerve-wracking, but feel the fear, do it anyway, and do your due diligence. Queen of Swords, you've got a strategy, you've got a plan, you're being honest with yourself, you're super organized, and I feel like clearly communicating your needs, you'll have them met. So healthy boundaries in the working environment as well. I feel like your career environment is changing, and so will your finances because of it. I feel that, there is more money available to you and you're attracting it, especially in the future, okay? 9 and 10 of Pentacles popping out there tells me you're increasing your wealth. You may even exact some sort of generational wealth structure in the future because of your hard work. You're going to be so proud of you, because I definitely see that your future self is proud of you already. We've got magnetism, attracting more opportunities. You are a magnetic force. Just going to go and get some final cards for you here. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Virgo? Okay, we've got celebration. We've got inner warrior, encounter, and I did mention the encounter as well. You're going to encounter someone who's going to be very beneficial for your career and also for your finances. We've got magnetism. Okay, huge door open there for you. And it says here, a magnetic force surrounds you. You're being given the power to manifest your dreams into reality. Drawing, persuasion, and power. Remember, I said you get to negotiate a better deal. You are the more persuasive force in the room. But it's about choice words that you use and knowing to value yourself. Another sword there, inner warrior, fighting for what you want and getting your way. It says, channel your inner strength to subdue and subtly control the issues at hand. Trust your power, strength, courage, and confidence. And I would definitely say that, as I said, you're taking charge of something this month. And I feel like trust that intuition, trust the position that you're in, because you actually are in more of a powerful position than you give yourself credit for, okay? And also we've got encounter. And it says here, an unexpected encounter will slowly alter the course of your life. Keep an open mind. Surprise, meeting, and by chance. So definitely came out there. So I'm very excited for you. This will open new portals for you. and it's going to be very beneficial. I mean, you've got doors opening, portals opening all over the place. We got celebration here, something to celebrate. That Six of Cups tells me there is something sweet being offered to you, okay? Something that you're going to love, something that's going to fulfill you eventually, but you may need to negotiate that deal. It says here, this is a great time in your life. Things are progressing with grace and ease as never before. Triumph, parties, and fun times. We did mention that briefly. Have the balance between work and play, but also parties, working, networking kind of events. I feel these are going to be very beneficial for you as well. Okay, so I'm just going to go and get a trinket or a rune before we close. Okay, so we've got one. We got peace. The peace symbol there. Okay, peace of mind, peace in the working environment, protecting your inner peace in order to focus on a project. I definitely feel like you're moving towards an easier time or finding an easier way of doing something, and it's going to be very beneficial for you. Okay, so I'll leave it there. Hope something resonates in that reading for you, my beautiful Virgo. If it does, please like or subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press that little notification bell. Lets you know when I update my next message. Lets me know that you resonate with the reading, which is so important for me too. Thank you so much, my beautiful Virgo, and love and light.